Meet Elvis.
It's time for another adventure. Welcome back for another adventure. Through my many expeditions, I've fallen in love with the natural world. Amazing landscapes and beautiful scenery are magnets for tourism. But of course, with this comes our responsibility to ensure that we preserve the environment. Today, I'm taking us on an adventure to the nation's capital, Abu Dhabi, to see how they're combining tourism with conservation to preserve the nation's oldest natural habitat. So I've just arrived here at Jubail Mangrove Park and I'm going to be taking a bit of a tour with my friend Osama. This must be Osama here, how are you?
Nice to meet you.
So what are we doing today?
We'll be taking a walk all around Jubail Mangrove Park, just learning a little bit about mangroves and its effect in our environment. This is a 2-kilometer walkway with 6 different stations. In each station we have a visual representations of different factors regarding our environment and the mangrove trees.
It's amazing because you feel like you're in the thick of a forest, almost like in a rainforest, but then you see that we're still within the parameters of the city of Abu Dhabi.
So if you put it into perspective, it's about 24 football pitches.
So Brian, you've been given a mandate by the government to plant a certain number of trees. So what's your mission?
So we're really lucky in the fact we're part of the whole Abu Dhabi idea for planting more trees.
Hi, I'm Brian Parry. I'm the operations manager for Akdar Adventures.
The ideal of doing it with the Khalifa Empowerment Programme is that we plant 50,000 trees for the 50th anniversary of the UAE.
50 years of the UAE, that's what they tell me. 50 years since the country was born. But the history here goes far beyond that. The trees that we see around us now, were they naturally here or have they been planted through your plantation project?
A lot of them are natural, but a lot of them will date back to about 40, 50 years ago where Sheikh Zayed mandated that we should add to the existing forests. So especially here on Jubail Island, there was a large planting project many years ago that enhanced the forest that's already here. But the forest that's already here could be up to 5,000 to 7,000 years old.
So you're a bit of an adventure enthusiast already. That's why I thought it'd be good for you to come along. But is the sea your thing? Because I hear you're more of a mountain expert.
Yes, but mountaineering was more of a statement, a sense of proving to myself that I can do something. Because whenever I told people, oh, I was going to climb this mountain or that mountain, the reaction was like, really? But you're a Saudi girl? My name is Ram Harag. I'm from Saudi Arabia and I'm an adventure athlete. So I wanted to really truly prove to myself that I am more than what people expected and I'm more than the stereotype. And it kind of snowballed into a mountaineering career, 7 summits, 14 expeditions, just like that.
Everest, hey? Let's see how good she is at planting trees.
Let's go, guys. I will show you where to plant these trees.
Right, so we plant them in the water or just sort of
on the line with the water. Hello, my name is Maria Jose Martin. I'm a biologist and I did my master's in biodiversity conservation. Before we plant them, what do you know about trees in general, plants?
well...
Photosynthesis. Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. Oh my God.
Photosynthesis.
Photosynthesis. So they've got leaves that are green and they take the sunlight and then they take carbon dioxide and put out oxygen.
Okay, so these trees, because they live in a really hard environment, salty water, it's very sun, they take 3 to 5 times more carbon dioxide than a rainforest. So actually, you are like breathing 3 to 5 times more pure air than in any other part of the world.
Wow.
That's pretty cool, huh?
These are like the cure to global warming.
One of them, yes. Yes, definitely.
So we're really helping out here then.
The reason why the mangroves are an important part of the world's ecosystem is because we need something to help offset the carbon and the other emissions that we're causing onto the planet. And here in the Middle East, our trees grow so strong and take so much carbon out of the system that if we add more, we can help keep the planet cool.
Hello, meet Elvis.
Elvis? Who names a mangrove tree after a rock and roll star?
Well, you named yours Elvis, I'll name mine Ringo.
Nice.
He was a good drummer.
So, ready? Perfect. Let's go to dig a little bit.
Now this is really gritty and sandy. Like it's not like soil, for example, or mud that usual plants are in. So are they sort of evolved to live in like sandy waters?
So these trees, obviously they live in salty water, so they have a lot of adaptations to that. One of them is the roots. They are very special. When they are taking the water, they just filter it, but still a little bit of salt comes in the tree, so they just like take it out through the leaves.
We have 2 types of roots. First, it goes down vertically, so that's the first root. We call it the support root.
So that's like a normal tree.
That's like a normal tree. It just
Downward
goes
roots.
downwards, yeah. And after it does that, it would go also sideways. All right. When it goes sideways, it would entangle with other trees. All right. So together they hold each other like a family and they anchor themselves.
So they're a little bit like hippies. They're all holding each other's hands, happy
Exactly,
families.
happy family. So all that you see over here are actually the roots of the tree, and they're called the pneumatophores. It would help the tree take in more carbon dioxide from the environment.
Right.
And use it as energy, of course. And then it also takes a little bit of oxygen as a secondary source of energy when the tide comes in, and it allows the tree to breathe.
Like snorkels.
Basically, exactly like snorkels.
Mangrove ecosystems, they have a lot of biodiversity around them. You have a lot of bird species, you have fishes, especially the babies. These act as a nursery. So in terms of biodiversity, they are very rich.
I see lots of crabs around. Why is that?
They're called the farmers of the sea. They move the soil around, just it allows the soil not to get rigid.
So they're quite key in the whole ecology of the mangroves.
Definitely. When we first opened the boardwalk, we had a lot of people. It scared away all the birds, and the birds eat the crabs. When you scare away the birds, you overpopulate crabs, and crabs eat a lot of leaves. Everything is a balance, and we try to keep that balance.
With love for your Elvis and Ringo. So you put it in the hole, and then if you want, you can use your hands and just cover it.
Do I think I'm a better tree planter? First of all, he would put the tree in wonky. And I was looking at him like, oh my God, do you need a leveler?
Do you see the pneumatophore?
Huh?
And then he put in the stuff like very unceremoniously.
Is that a well-planted tree?
It's perfect. He will grow big
Yes.
and save the world.
So I've got to now tag that onto Google Maps as
Yes.
Paris's mangrove tree, and then it will be findable for the rest of my life.
All right, Elvis, with all the love in the world, I send you out to save it.
We've done this before, I think.
Maybe I'm a little bit better than him, but I appreciate him for inviting me to come here.
So if I want to actually name it on Google, do I have to call Google?
No. How is that even a question?
Or how does it work?
It's less complicated. You just, where we are, you just put your finger on it, you get a tab that says label, and then you put all the
Right.
information you want on it.
Paris's mangrove tree
Exactly.
called Ringo.
Ringo.
We will take as many people as want to come, 60 to 30 every session across the island in different planting locations, but it's a voluntary project. You have to book, so the more people come, the better.
So what is the biggest threat to the mangroves?
The biggest threat is always human activity. Some of the UAE plantations were completely removed, but they're gradually coming back, where people now, 30, 40 years later from the early construction, have started to rebuild the forests that are close to even some of the urban locations.
By planting one tree, you have left a little mark that will hopefully in 20 years give back. This tiny little act can hopefully inspire others, and also myself, to always think to do small things with big love.
Well, I am exhausted, but that was a great day. So I'll see you at the next adventure.